Elton 932 on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me. I think I have a little bit of a delay. Give me 1 second, okay? Give me one. Okay. Whew. It is Elsa 932 on YouTube. Glad to have y'all here. We are going to cover the first four episodes of Love is Blind UK today. Make sure you have your snacks. It is 4 episodes, 4 hour-long episodes. I did a recap of each episode. So I hope you're enjoying that. Plus, the members, you get shorts and stuff like that early. And we have a member live right after this later on tonight at 8:30, and that is, because people got to put the kids to bed or put their headphones in because those conversations are not for teeny tiny ears. But we are here. Love is Blind UK gave us all first season, and now it gave us a whole lot more. Let's say hello to who's here. I do have some guests I'm waiting on. Can you hear me, Sam? I want to make sure y'all can hear me. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Okay. Hello, Delphine. Glad to have you here. Can y'all hear me? I just want to make sure you can. I'm very quiet. Okay. Okay. Is this volume better? Let me know if this is better. Because I want to make sure y'all can hear me. Very low. Okay, let me see. Let me see about editing my microphone. Oh, I see what's wrong. It's the wrong microphone. Can you hear me better now? Let me know. Can you hear me better now? I want to make sure y'all can hear me because we got lots to say tonight. We have a lot to say tonight. Okay, definitely better. Okay, great. Because I want to say it properly when I say hello. Hey, let's talk about it all. Okay. Sam, Samantha is here. Moondust Angel. Rejection is protection. Glad to see you. Haven't seen you in a bit. You're just in the comments, so we have fun there. Yeah. Okay. Glad y'all can hear me. Delphine Azul. Okay. Yep. Glad y'all can hear me better now. Oh, yeah. So, yes, as I said, while I was sounding low, whenever I wear headphones, the headphone has a mic and it was picking up that mic. So we are here to talk about Love is Blind UK Season 2, episodes 1 through 4. They gave us a lot. They gave us more than we wanted to, have. And we're going to talk about it. I do have panelists coming on. I have a couple of them one of them backstage right now. So we are going to start, we're going to start off mild and give the other panelists a time to come in. Now, if y'all have been here with me through Love is Blind Germany, this person is no stranger. Hey, Munira, glad to have you here. Only listen, participate in the chat later. Okay, we'll whisper since you work in Munira. Glad to see you. So if you're with me during Love is Blind Germany, then you would recognize this gentleman who is a wonderful panelist. We haven't seen him around here in a while. He was slowly becoming a stranger, We have to make a song about it. Remember that song, What About Dre? Well, we would have had this song, What About Trey? So Trey is definitely back. Hey, Trey, you are live for the people.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay. I have audio issues myself. I'm like, wait a minute, I can't hear nothing.
Okay. I can hear you, but you're low like I was.
Oh, wait a minute. See if I can turn myself up. Can you hear me now?
The volume. Yes.
Okay.
We have Trey here. We're expecting other panelists, so I'll bring them up as soon as they get here and they are ready. So we're going to talk about it. So since you are My guest, okay. Oh, Trey gets the heart eyes. Wait a minute now. I don't get that in this my channel.
Oh my God.
I don't get that. Okay, okay.
Got my
Treat.
notes. I got my
You got
notes.
your notes. How many
Okay.
pages of notes? Javine pages or
Nah, we
Jen?
went in between. How about that? In between. I got 4 episodes on one page. A lot of little
Oh,
notes. Okay.
okay.
Front
We
and
are
back.
prepared.
Front
We
and
are
back. All right.
prepared. Okay, I like it. I like it. So, hey, trouble. I mean, Trey. LOL.
Wow. I am not trouble. I am safe. I am security. Join us. I will hold your hand through this process. Everything's going to be okay. Join us. Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Okay, Trey. How's your spleen today?
I don't do spleens. Okay. I have plain old gut. It has carried me this far. And I ain't trying to be no trickery here. You know, it's my plain old gut. And it's built off experiences. So I will use my experiences as we go down this rabbit hole today. Because
Okay.
it was a bunch of mess.
It was a bunch of mess. And since you're my guest and you have not been to the house for a while, I will let you have first pick. Who would you like to talk about today?
You know, I think we really should get into Carrie and Sophie. Because I found with Carrie and Sophie with Megan as the third wheel, they turned into the first wheel.
And there you go, y'all. On the screen, you have the pictures of them. Sophie, Kieran, and Megan. And oh, I have lots to say about Kieran too. This is a great pick, Trey. So I'll let you start us off.
Well, my first few notes was I was trying to write down who we came in contact with and my quick impressions of them. And I was trying to catch their ages and everything. And when I wrote down Sophie, she was like the third or fourth person I wrote down. And my few notes was the first thing I wrote was she's picky. Just like picky. That's all I wrote for her at first. I was like, wow, that's what was coming across at first.
Okay.
And then I got into jealousy, needs reinforcement, and she is a self-sabotager and she knows it. That's the thing that got me. She knew it. I was like, okay. So it confused me when we go further on. If you know you're self-sabotaging, and yet you were self-sabotaging, why are you getting upset over your own self-sabotagement? I don't know if that's a word, but I just made it up. But hey, here we go.
We're used to the Trey dictionary. We used to the Pacific words out of Trey.
Yeah, Pacific. It's going to be some Pacifics and specifics going on in here.
So Sam says she was so darn closed off and insecure, a bad combination.
Yes, she was. She really was.
Funny you say that about Sophie because there are a lot of people here who are very self-aware in the cast and still end up falling into the deep hole following the rabbit into Wonderland. I just don't get it. It's like you are aware that you are a self-sabotager, but Sophie decided, hey, I'm going to just keep on trucking.
Yep. It was very interesting. I was like, okay. I hate to say it because, you know, it may come across a certain type of way, but I got to say it. She was also the type of woman who she knew her own beauty and was falsely very secure in it. And I say that because you're in a situation where it's supposed to be love is blind. They can't see you. But the way she was talking to Kieran at times, she was acting like he could see her. Like, the way she was talking is, look at me. This is how I look. I'm a baddie. You should be fawning over me. You know.
Kind of like, Effie, look at me. I am changing.
Yes, it was. I was like, what is okay? And she wasn't slick. I caught something in that first or second interaction with him. I noticed she was very, very smoothly giving him hints of her beauty, of how she looked.
Yes.
Like I was like, That's interesting. She kept saying little things like, "Oh yeah, you see me, men covered my beauty. Oh, you see me, you're gonna love me. I'm bad." You know, I'm like, "Oh, you dropping heavy hints." Versus Megan, she never talked about her looks when she was talking to Kieran.
And I wonder with Megan, if she didn't talk about her looks, is it because of her red hair? Because I know I have a few friends who are redheads that aren't quite secure because of the stereotypes people have with folks with red hair, but you're right. Megan didn't say anything like I'm fiery or anything. But Megan did tell you what she looked like. I'm a dancer.
Well, yes, but that's more of an archetype than actual look. You can apply it to it, but when you say I'm a dancer, the way she was speaking it, she was more sublime, flowy, artistry, more her personality. She was speaking towards her personality. But you could say, "Oh yeah, I'm a dancer." She never said I have a dancer's body. She just said I'm a dancer, and he inferred from that. Ooh.
But she basically said she was a dancer on a cruise ship. That would have a dancing body.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Colleen. I'm a ballet dancer. I'm a ballet. It reminded me of that. Like you were still giving hints as to how they look. Now, I want to ask you something. And I'm an only child. I'm raising 2 sons. Sophie also told us one, her mom left the family. And I wonder, if we don't know if she grew up with the brothers, but I'm assuming that. Do you think that her behavior like this is a result of the only girl in a very male dominated household?
Somewhat, yes. Her father definitely taught her a version of the ropes. And she took it into play, which is not bad for women half the time. But you could tell, or at least I could tell, there was very little balance in that. Very little balance.
And I would say that because I also see, hey, actually, Aubrey, glad to have you here. I'll see you tomorrow for our Match Me Abroad. So, what my grandfather raised me to be the self-sufficient young lady as well, but I could kind of see that if you're raised, to be self-sufficient and it's only the men around, but hey, she's a very girly girl. And she is, the first thing we saw of her was her fixing her hair and not, and saying something about the person, giving her like, hey, whatever you feel like, because these women don't know each other. The person said, however you feel. Oh, it looks good either way. I hate when people say that. It's like, girl, calm down. The man that you're going to speak with in the pods, he can't see you. That's for us.
Yes. Yes.
That's
Yes.
for us, the viewing public.
It was very interesting seeing her interaction. And the very slight jealousy she started to show towards Megan in the women's lounge was fascinating to me. Like, she knew that, well, Megan made it no secret. If you could tell, the biggest difference between them two that I think what pulled Kieran along was Megan was open from Jump Street. She was like, so I think Sam said, what Sam in the comments said earlier, Sophie was very closed off. And they told you she was very closed off. To me,
Yes.
I think the only reason why Kieran stayed in it as long as he did was because she did kind of let him know how fine she was. So he was curious. He was curious. It's like, okay, well, at least I know that. Let me try. I'm trying with you. He kept saying, I'm trying with you. Like, hey, tell me something. Give me something. Because this other girl is giving me everything I need emotionally, that is.
I really don't like when they say that in the pods, when they tell you, hey, my other connection is doing this. You need to step up, basically. I think you need to let people flow in the pod.
True, but we all know competition is competition half the time. Yes. But it's going to pop up. It's going to pop up.
Yes. And unless I'm sorry, unless, I really don't like name hollering in the pods. I think everybody should not know who my connection is. You shouldn't even know who I'm going on a date with. I mean, I would not tell a single soul until a ring is on my finger, or I may just tell you some other name. So you kind of like side eye me, and that ain't even the person I'm dating.
I mean, in real life that works, but in this situation, in these pods, I give you 2-3 days at most, and after that, people are gonna know who you're dating because everybody talk. You know, even
Okay,
if you
that's why you
don't
give a
talk.
fake name.
Okay, fake name. Okay, fake name. You
I'll
can't
tell
do
them
this in
I'm.
the pods. That ain't gonna
Yes.
work in the pods.
Why not?
That first day, everybody's dating everybody. So once people start
Right.
coming back with names, people gonna talk. Even if you give a fake name, people gonna put 2 and 2 together. Nah, the way she described him, or or she cap in a way, it's weird. It's gonna come off weird.
Okay.
The
That
only way,
artistry can work.
the only way it really works if you don't actually, if he actually did what Sophie did, if it was kind of funny, she didn't say anything at all.
Right. That we saw. Right.
Yeah.
Sophie just listened.
Yes, that's how you. That's actually how you move within at least the shared living area. That's how you move. I have to applaud her for that because she just, yeah, you just move, you just listen, and you date who you need to date. But then she crashed out and failed herself by approaching Megan for what I don't know.
Just throw pebbles in the water and create a ripple.
But that was the craziest point to me. Okay. Honestly, in my eyes, she was still in the running. She still could have won that.
Yes.
But she messed herself up. Because this be for real. All he gave Megan was a thimble that he brought back from vacation from Japan. It probably had some little symbolism meaning. That's what he told her. But this is be for real. It was a thimble. Megan was putting 10 on 2.
It was a traditional Japanese ornament that has significance, okay?
Yes.
It's kind of like how some people get palms on Palm Sunday. It had significance. So she felt that, and it had his cologne on it, his aftershave. So how do you get a sniff of him and I don't?
And that's my point. That's my point. You getting upset because he gave her a thimble with some cologne on it? Think about it now. For real.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing with Sophie. Here's why I got upset with her in that last date. She came in blazing.
Yes.
Baby girl, he could have had a gift for you too.
I think he did.
I think he did. I really think he did.
Yeah, until she came in there hot, he went, You know what it is? I think he had a gift. He just happened to give it to Megan first. And I heard you and Coach Saturday night. There's one part you said I didn't hardly agree with. I was like,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You said Kyrian was being all egoish when he came back in the room and said, yeah, that's about me. That's not quite what happened. That was a small misrepresentation of what actually happened.
That sounds like the male ego.
No. If you remember what I actually sent you a message in the chat when I was like, you're not wrong, but you put a little extra on what actually happened because he came back in the room. Everybody was like, how'd it go? He went, yeah, it's cool. Then they heard the yelling. Everybody looking like, damn, what was that? He was like, I guess that's about me.
That's about me.
And then I said exactly how he just said it. I guess that's about me.
You got to look at his stature, at his face. You got to look at the whole posture. That is like,
I'm going to reenact it. He went, I guess that's about me.
No, it wasn't that chill. It wasn't that chill.
Yes, it was. The replay.
Nobody asked him to say nothing. They hear the sound.
It was Jed.
They were standing next to each other, and it's like, yeah, that noise you hear, that's about me.
What's that about? No, he didn't do that. He was asked. He did wait, what's all the noise about? That's about you? He said, yeah, that's about me. He was asked. Hit the replay. He was asked.
He put 10 on 20 with that. He was like, that's about me, player. That's about me.
He didn't do all that. It wasn't that. It was.
See, Sam said he wasn't as smooth as you, Trey.
It was smooth enough, okay? All I'm saying is he did not put 10 on 2. We put a little extra on this. He's just
maybe it's
like,
my
yes,
maybe it's
Bobby.
my ego. My ego. See,
Yeah.
see, he was.
Let me tell you what it was. It was the heightened moment of Megan coming in there hot, and y'all was like, "Oh my God, he got a gift." Meanwhile, I'm watching, I'm keeping a perspective about what's going on here. I was like, that was a very sentimental gift, yes, but it was a thimble. And the way Megan came in there was like he gave her a ring. I was like, okay,
because here's the thing, and I know you're saying a thimble, but we have to realize because of the Japanese culture, that is something of significance.
yes,
So
and I get you for that.
Right, and he's a gamer, and he resonates with Japan. And Sophie shared she wanted to go to Japan as well, so she understands. So giving Megan a piece of Japan when I told you I want to go to Japan is also a violation.
She probably was about to give her some chopsticks that was going to be meaningful. She should have just waited and chilled out. She would have got her some nice chopsticks.
Yeah, I think Sophie should have waited. He could have had a gift for her. It's like it's jumping the hoop of I'm going to be done with you before you're done with me. But she didn't know if he was done. You know, we have seen on this show that people have been given gifts and they did not make it to the end.
Well, yeah. I mean, and on a show like this, I'm gonna be honest, I don't put too much in the gift giving. And what I mean by that, you made a statement, and I agree with it. Just, depending on the culture you live in, gift giving means differently in some countries than others. Because I think you made a statement like over in America, it's a little bigger than versus over in England. They don't give that gift. They don't really give gifts like that. So
that's what it seemed. That's how it appears on the show, that the men are not about giving gifts.
So I have, I'm giving room for that. And then on top of that, I'm like, okay, even we are on a show where historically gifts are given out. So my brain automatically is like, okay, are you giving this gift in sincerity, like truly meaning it, or are you playing a game? Because you have to give room for that as well. Some people know how to play the game well.
Trey, this is not coming out of your own budget. The least you could do is send the lady flowers. The least you could do is send her flowers.
Now I'm with that. So it's very telling to who give gifts and who don't.
And whether they're spending their money or not.
Yes, it's very telling. So that's why I was like, okay, he decided to give her a gift. All right.
A gift he packed from home for whoever he met.
Exactly.
It was not for Megan. It's for whatever lady he thought.
Exactly. And you could take that in 2 or 3 ways.
Right. You can't. So let's get off of roasting or talking about the ladies so much. And yes, we will get back to Megan. I need to roast Kieran. Oh, heck yeah. He's the meat. He is literally the meat in the middle of the sandwich. Okay.
The first thing I wrote about him, he's a little sneaky. That's my first thing I wrote about him. He's a little sneaky.
Preach.
And then my second thing was he doesn't answer questions.
Now that we saw, y'all, this is an edited, produced show, so we are going off of what we are presented with. But Kieran answered a single question, except with a question.
Exactly. Which is, which if you talk about dark arts, it's very smart. It's very smart to do. So either way you cut it, I can't get too mad at him because he's doing what he's supposed to do in this setting. But
what do we know about Kieran? What do the ladies know about Kieran?
Not much.
Other than he wants someone to be a motherly mother, because that is not exactly what he had growing up. He is a gamer. He games with his brother. That is exactly, how he and his brother keep in communication. What else do we know about Kieran?
Not much. Just about
How many kids does he want?
Never said.
Ever. What? I mean, favorite food, it was a whole lot of questions for the ladies.
He never even had he never was even asked about his plans of marriage and how that looks and what exactly is he looking for. He just, no.
Welcome, Dan. This is your first time here. I love when people come in kind of throwing real rocks in and creating ripples. Did you notice Kieran and Megan making out in the background while Cal confronted Katisha? thought that was funny. I did notice that.
Yeah, I did. Ain't no wrong with, hey, they together.
Hey, they're engaged to be married in 14
Yeah.
days.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Until he meets Sophie.
TB21.
And then we're gonna see what we see. I think he gonna hang strong, but it's gonna be something interesting when we see what we see.
I think what is going to be interesting is moving in with him and actually seeing, because he's in a profession, it is gaming, that still is on the up and up, and many people do not see it as work or as a profession, and it is a highly lucrative profession. So
It is.
I need to, and you can get focused in programming, people who are in that field, and you can, I don't want to say neglect your partner, but you can be very focused in what you're doing, and your partner may feel neglected. And we know Megan's story with her dad, absolutely heartbreaking. So I don't know if living together and him being focused on when he needs to be focused on work, how she would take that type of distance.
She's going to need some attention. And I don't know if he's going to be able to provide the type of attention that she seemingly wants. And honestly, if I have to say something, be honest with it, I don't know if any man she got with the type of attention that she says she wants to need, it's going to be a little challenging. Just a little bit. I don't know.
It's going to be very challenging, so she doesn't feel offended or neglected. What another thing, I also highlight, because, and I had comments, who you are in the chat. I had comments in the comment section about, there are a lot. I wanted people to understand that Love is Blind UK showing us that it is not only one sector that has a parent leave and a parent who behaves as an a-hole. Megan's dad, whoever he is, was an absolute a-hole. The fact that you acted like that was not, you did not know her, and she had to serve you, and applauded to Megan because she's a better woman than me, because I may have to change tables, or we may have needed, a health inspector to check your food, because the problem I have is you are her dad, and you allowed her to serve you and your friend or whoever your date was, and you did not acknowledge her. That to me is the height of rejection. And then you come back the week later when she is not there to leave an empty card. I would have lit that card on fire. But then again, that's just me. That's just me. Hey, Lady Lyrics, glad to see you here. You seem new here. Hope you do enjoy the good discussion. I have an unpopular opinion here. Maybe we don't know much about him because the ladies did not ask.
They didn't much. Not really. Not really.
Well, they asked about his profession.
And he talked about that. But if you looked at it, Kieran was the one, he was treating it more like an interview process to see what was the best pick for him. So you can take that how you want it. That could be good and bad. But he was asking most of the questions and taking notes on each one. Because it wasn't like he was just asking questions. He was taking notes and keeping things in memory so he could bring it back up and talk about it again. So he was doing his due diligence to find out which one's going to be the better choice for him. And I think he did make the better choice ultimately. Because I don't know. I don't know about Sophie. Nah.
It will be a forever test with Sophie. It will be a forever prove your love, prove your loyalty. It will be exhausting in a different way than Megan would be exhausting, trying to make sure you are attentive, make sure she feels seen, make sure she feels heard. Both of them, he has to, both of them are here, and he has to measure and weigh. And at first I thought Kieran was going to go with Sophie because, he is a programmer. He likes to figure things out. And I wondered if he was trying to figure out how to unlock Sophie. And some people make that, a challenge and enter a relationship for the wrong reasons.
Sophie was literally giving him crumbs, and that's why she lost. Pure and simple. And because he was giving her chances, like he was giving her subtle hints. I want to choose you, but you're making it very difficult for me to choose you. Because that's the main difference between her and Megan. Like what you just said earlier, but the main reason why it would be more difficult with Sophie is because, yeah, she's going to demand a lot from you, and she's going to give crumbs in return. Versus Megan, yeah, she's going to require a lot of attention, but she's going to give it in kind. So that's the trade-off there. And I ain't gonna lie. If I have to deal with one or the other, I'm probably gonna deal with, even though I have to put a lot of energy into you, at least I know you're gonna give that energy back. I don't want to put it.
Wait a minute. Deal with.
Hey, we all got to deal with our partners and their idiosyncrasies. I said that word wrong, but you know what I'm saying.
I understand.
Yeah, you have to deal with them. They're going to be some things you like about them. It's going to be things going to get on your nerves.
And what happens if he doesn't want to buy Sophie the 2 handbags that she wants?
Listen, you know what?
What's going to happen if he forgets and is late for a date with Megan? I hope he is not the type of man that phone dies, okay?
I don't get that from Kyrian. Like I said, we don't know nothing about him, but he's always seemed to be attentive, at least. Like, he doesn't come off forgetful or just, put you to the side type of man. We just don't know anything about him because they never really asked anything about him. But
right.
In all his interactions, he does seem attentive. He's listening. He is listening to you.
Yes, he is. He's being attentive and he's making notes. Hey, Michelle, glad to have you here. Hope you do enjoy. We are on our first, is this a triad or a throuple? Our first dynamic is what we're covering right now. I did have one. Rejection is protection says Sophie had a dry sense of humor, but insecure, wanted to see if she could open up. You can be aware, but behavioral change often follows later.
I don't think you're gonna get that behavioral change from her. Listen, Coach will say this a lot when he carrying this. I am not climbing your walls in 2025 and be carrying it into 2026. I'm not doing it. Okay, I don't have the time. Okay, I got other things to do.
Oh, okay. We're just trying to make sure you fit enough for you to climb them walls. It's a test.
Well, you know what? Guess what? I am fit enough to run from that wall. How about that? I run very well. Get away from me.
They said, did anyone think he was disappointed that Megan had red hair? I thought so, but wondered if I read him wrong.
I didn't catch that. I didn't get that. You know what? I didn't. You said something about the red hair earlier. I had a joke for that. I was like, you know what? I don't think they feel that way about redheads no more ever since Game of Thrones. You want a redhead now? They hot.
We are not in the Game of Thrones, okay? We are not in the Game of Thrones. Y'all know Trey and I, we are Game of Thrones fans. So we have a group chat.
We're stands. Just go ahead and say it. We stands.
I can't really say that word right now. I'm parched.
Drink water. Nah. Yeah, I think he liked her with the red hair. I think he was pleasantly surprised. He was like, okay, yeah. Okay, this will work. I can work with this. That was a look on his face when I saw him. Like, yeah, I can work with this. It's cool. She's pretty.
Right. I don't think he was thoroughly disappointed at all. I think he was maybe thrown off like, oh, I didn't imagine her with red hair. But
he did say that. He did say that.
This is interesting. It's kind of like, when you it's like when you tell someone you go I don't know other people who do this, but when you go somewhere and you tell someone, you know what kind of drink would you like? It's like, surprise me. And you're like, oh, I didn't think this would, taste this great or wonderful,
She was bussing. That's funny. That's funny. It's hilarious. Miss Dana.
Yes.
Yeah, that was funny.
That is funny. You came in strong in this chat for your first time, Dan. That certainly you are welcome here. She said she wanted 3 kids at the most because she didn't want an ugly car. I hollered at that, and I'm not into cars. You know why she said she didn't want an ugly car? Anything more than 3 can't fit in the back seat. So she's also telling you she don't want no passengers. Your mama can't ride with us. Okay.
Mm-hmm. and any more kids like that, the more kids you have, the more money it costs. So
that's one less bag.
Yes. Yes. Well, I ain't gonna lie, it was a total, Sophie, she's just a pretty girl that'll turn you off in 5 minutes after you just hear her talk. That's basically what I got from her.
I wonder with Sophie, has there been a time that she said there hasn't, but I really wonder about that. But I wonder if there's a time where she has stepped out there and given her heart to someone only for it, not to work out, or she was about to, unlock all of her doors for that person. And then they showed their behind and she's like, oh no, this ain't it.
I think she was about to. She gives me as a person, her dad taught her about men, and then she kind of finally came across one he seemed okay, and then what her dad taught her came into fruition, or she saw a hint of it and just was like, nope, I'm not giving nothing away. I'm not giving my heart nothing. Very cold. So it's one of those situations. She is a product of what she was taught,
Yeah, possibly.
As we all are.
But there is someone out there. There is someone out there for her. And rejection is protection. You don't think we recognize English sense of humor? I think we do. I think the editing of it, because it kind of just landed kind of off, it may be why we also don't recognize that sense of humor.
Well, English humor has always been kind of dry and surly, which I've always, I enjoy all senses. I like all comedy. I like all senses of humor. I get dry humor. I think it's hilarious or whatever, so I'm always fine with it, but a lot of people, they don't flow with it. They're like, oh, they get turned off like, oh, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm. Well, we have several other couples and we have certainly gone there. I want to pick the next one. I want to pick somebody that's going to be controversial, okay? For a different reason. Let's just get this out the way. Patrick and Anu.
How did I know you was going to Patrick? I was about to say you going to let Patrick. Patrick.
Hey, it was a coin toss. My thing is, why did I have to see this? Why did I have to see this at all? They did not get engaged. It was a dud. There are so many other couples that probably got to this far and didn't get engaged. Why do I have to see this? Why did I have to see and hear the S word with the "een" at the end? Why did I have to hear Anu come back, write an original song, is very eager to sing it to him, and he flat out said no? She's like, I wrote a song about it, want to hear it. He is like, here's a no. Why did I have to see this man here at all on my screen?
The funny thing is, if that disagreement had not come up, there would have been a match.
Really?
Yes, I do think so.
A match? You mean a match?
Well, no, they would probably so. Yeah, like it was a lot of match, flick. But what I'm saying is, if you notice, everything was flowing up until that point. They had no issues, none. They were just going. They were seeing the
They had major issues.
It did, but to them, if you hear them talk, they were fine. Up until that one point where they had a little disagreement, which was a crazy disagreement, because I find myself, I was like, all right, I didn't like it at first. He was pissing me off. But knowing me, I had to stop, wait, take myself out of it, look at it objectively. When I thought about it, I went, I get what he was trying to say. I don't like the way he said it. It was super disrespectful to me. I don't like the way he said it. But when I thought about what he was actually trying to say, I went, ooh, he probably has a point because I saw it in her. I saw it in her. And the argument, to everybody, just catch everybody up, the argument was, well, basically, it started with, if I, we get along fine. We get along great. Like I said, up to that point, they were good. We get along fine. But if I meet your mom and she doesn't like me, what would be your opinion of that? And her response, somewhat typical, was, well, it was somewhat typical. I didn't like it either. She went, well, oh, wow, I guess I have to listen to that, and yeah, it'd probably be over. Now, his response to it wasn't good, but I had to put myself in that position. I was like, wait a minute. I probably feel some type of way too. Now, hold on. Wait a minute. Okay. Don't get me wrong. My mother's opinion means something to me, and I would listen to her. But also, this is how she just raised me, I'm also an adult. I have to make decisions for myself, and sometimes mistakes for yourself. So which led him to the other statement, or trying to figure out, was she the type of person to listen to what everybody said about her and just go along with it? Like how do you take criticism? How do you deal with what people think about you? And so I'm like, oh God, here we go. I knew it was going down after that. I was like, oh.
But
go ahead.
Have you looked into what he is talking about and going down that rabbit hole?
I have been in that situation.
No, meaning the whole splenic thing.
First of all,
that is a rising, quote unquote, cult-ish, in Europe right now. That is rising. That is also a reason why I'm like, why do we have to see this? The reason when I got down that rabbit hole and realized how far down that went, I said, was Patrick seeing if he could pull her away from her religion to his? That's when
I caught sense of that.
How much, are you going to move away, and how much are you going to stand up and stand with me in this whole, situation? Also, I think the way we may have answered it, Trey, we may have made a joke of it and said, well, I'm a convinced mama. Mama's like me. It's not the hard, oh, she won't like you, da 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 da.
Yeah.
Yes, Michelle, we about Love is Blind all over the world here. Yes, it's like Ola on Love is Blind Sweden. Yes, he's into that. And I didn't realize that the lady that was his friend on that show was actually the leader of his group. I found out
that guy. Okay, yeah. That was weird. Yeah, they both was weird like that. Yeah.
Yes. The lady he had that said the young lady for him was not it. She was the leader of their group. So again, with this whole thing, I don't know why Anu even entertained Patrick, because he was not of the religious fervor that she was. She is praying. She is fasting. She is on the prayer call line. She's on the family prayer call line. A man like Patrick is not going to be on that family prayer call line. He does not need to be in your situation at all.
I agree. But let me push back just a quick bit and say this tidbit. I agree with everything you just said, because I was seeing it. But then that's what puzzled me about Anu, because I was liking her up until that point, and I went, wait a minute. Like, are you what he's accusing you of being, easily susceptible? Because that's how she was coming off.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. So I flipped it around. Well, if she's coming off easily susceptible, why isn't Patrick going ahead and pull her in? Because is he like, okay, this is too easy? It's not enough of a challenge? Because if that's the case, If he's really into cult stuff, she was an easy pull in.
She was beginning to until he realized Mama gonna be an issue. He realized
too much of a fight.
Right, Mama would put her Bible down and say, "Not my child." And I think that's when Patrick started to pull away. That's just my guess, y'all. This is an edited show. We don't know everything, but I think she started to pull away too. Because, sorry, I knew, ain't no way you're going to tell me that sushi date you wasn't stuffing your face so you didn't have to answer him.
I think you need to explain to Moondust Angel what the spleen thing actually means.
Okay. What, in relation to Patrick or in relation to general? Okay, so
she got to general because at first you would think your spleen mean your gut, blah blah blah, but no, he was meaning it in a different way.
Right, he was meaning that your actual spleen, which is an organ in your body, I believe it's just under your heart, just under your chest cavity, kind of, that resonates. Okay, that gives you energy and speaks to you and is giving you messages. There is a group that believes that not just the spleen, but also other parts of your organs actually, because if you know how people say to have butterflies, they're saying that parts of your organ, speak to you, and that is, the universe telling you what you need to know, what you need, so you harness that energy and you learn to listen and all of that stuff. I just, don't think a lady like Anu would fall for a man that is not about at least faith. But she said something very interesting. She said, "You are the only man here that has any kind of faith."
Yeah, he kind of was. Well, that openly talked about it.
Right. And I did not like that.
It's crazy.
Just said, we know how Elson feel about him. I don't like talk about I feel butterflies. Butterflies mean that you need to, handle your business. Okay, that means you need to run. That is a physical response, anxiety. Yes, but I don't.
You're more of a logical woman. First off, okay, you're very logical when it comes to things. So you even view your gut or butterfly feeling whatever through a hint of logic, meaning, oh wait, if I'm feeling something weird about you, that's a bad sign. So
that's a bad sign either for you or me. But whatever it is, either I need to go away from you or I need to go to handling my business. Something is happening in my stomach.
But I guess my question is, why does it have to feel like a bad sign? That's the real question, though.
No, I didn't say it has to be bad. I just need to leave and go handle my business. I was trying to say I need to go to the loo. Okay.
I just wait a minute. So you said, oh wait, I got butterflies, probably some bubble guts. So you know what? Something ain't right about here. I got to get out of here.
I need to go. I need to go handle my business.
Think more clearly.
Yes. I don't like the butterflies, the whole fairy tale, the whole thing. Fairy tales were written by people. Fairy tales were written in a certain manner to elicit a certain response. I don't like that. What happened to reality? And as you said, I'm a little more grounded. It's like, okay, when the butterflies wear off, how are butterflies paying your bills? How are butterflies raising your children? How are butterflies going to help you? You can't be butterflying it every day, all day.
No, you can't do that. See, I've always been somewhat, okay, I am very logical. I'm a very logical person. I need A plus B to equal C. Okay? 1, 2, 3, none of this new math. But I do leave room for energy. And sometimes I do try to trust my energy. If I'm feeling something off from you, I take a step back, but like, okay, what's going on here? Whether it's good or bad, if I'm feeling something good energy from you, I'm like, okay, let me see the sources of good energy. And it's maybe something I need to apply within my life and keep it in my life. Because some of my friends to this day, either male or female, we've been friends over 15 years because I felt some type of energy off of them. It was good. I was like, no matter what, this person needs to stay in my life. And I need to stay in theirs.
But we can all hear and understand if you say energy, we understand if, people say certain things. But when we put it to, other than saying your gut feeling, you know, um, something, we used to look at, our grandparents strange when they're like, oh, my little toe hurts. It's going to rain today. We used to look at them strangely
I
when they
did.
put body parts to it.
I didn't. I caught it. I guess for me, I thought it was. You know what? Yes, it was a little strange at first until I guess a part of me was like, "Oh, my hand itching, some money about to come." Then they get $20 out of nowhere. I'm like, "Oh, this must be something then." And then it started happening to me, like when I had got an injury to my left leg when I was really young, and every now and then I get a chronic ache in it, but it only happens when it starts to rain. Like there's a lot of moisture outside, whatever. So that's how I
Hmm.
know some rain is coming. Like, oh, my knees hurting a little bit. Rain is some rain about to come, and sure enough, it's going to be some rain. It'd be stuff like that, But you know,
But I just didn't see these two. I don't know why we need to see them. As someone said in the chat earlier, basically it may be drama.
yeah, it was.
Um,
It's just drama.
no, coming up.
Oh, yeah, because she's probably going to go yeah, when they meet each other again. It's probably going to be smoke from her.
Well, she is the one yelling in the clip saying, "You lied, you lied, you lied." So I'm
She
wondering
probably
what
find out
he
about that
lied
extra
about.
stuff. That we
Huh?
know about now. She's probably gonna find out about the extra stuff that we know about now.
Yes, story time with Ricky. If y'all have TikTok and so forth, she has found out allegedly Patrick has a 4-month-old daughter, and allegedly the mother of that child was expecting when he went into the pods. Okay? Now the mother of the child is very vocal on these internet. Very vocal on this internet. So Patrick got a lot of explaining to do, and but does he? We're done with him. I mean,
You lied. You lied. It was. It was like you know, but that only tells me you actually feeling him. Because why are you still so bothered after?
right. Well, I would be bothered even if I wasn't feeling him. I wrote you a song. I was excited to sing it for you. I felt in that moment like, you're a child and you come home excited um to, say something to your parents and excited to say how your day was, and then they're like, I don't want to hear about it, and it's like you're dejected. Okay.
Why did she write that song?
She said that she hadn't felt like writing a song, and now the juices are flowing, that now her writer's block is ended. Okay, her writer's block is ended. Now I have another panelist who is actually from the UK. He is here
Oh,
right now. I want to
great.
bring him on because I know he has a lot to say about Patrick and Anu. Hey, Life is Reality.
Hey, good evening, people.
What up, bro? Long
Yo,
time.
what's going on, Trey?
What's going on with you?
Yeah.
I feel outnumbered, but hey, at least we have UK representation. I know you've heard us a little bit. What do you have to say about Patrick and Anu?
Yeah, connection went sour real fast. He got turned off when she started singing and probably realized that it just wasn't going to work. But he was coming with a lot of, well, mainly that spleen talk. Yeah, I wasn't catching what he was talking about, But yeah, I feel like, unfortunately, it didn't work. Could have been something. I think she would have probably been better suited with the bowler. But obviously that wasn't meant to be.
He didn't have the religious aspect she was looking for, probably.
True. But I mean, that is a big thing. But
Well, I don't know
the
how big
whole,
it is for her because she allowed it. She allowed someone who stepped away from religion to, infiltrate.
that's true as well. And she was quite dejected when Patrick said no, you know. But
Yeah.
I think Demola would have been a better connection.
But we all know who Demola was too into. He was locked in over, and that wasn't gonna happen. He was too locked in over there.
As you say that Demola was too locked in, or anyone, they break it down, from them dating everyone the first day, and by the end, we've heard past castmates say they're down to the last 3 people. I would like to know for each person who the last 3 people were that they were in conversation with. So it would be interesting to know if she had conversations with Demola, what her thoughts were about him, about Javin. Because I think the religious talk, Javin would have been like, "Oh no, sorry." But it would be interesting to know if she sang for anybody else who did not ask her.
I don't think nobody asked her. He was the only one that was asking. Seemed like, which was
And I'm
weird
wondering,
by itself.
why didn't she sing? She is a wedding singer. I would think that Netflix is one of the wonderful places to, showcase.
Yeah, like that's that whole situation with the singing was weirding me out. Why you keep asking her? Number one, it came off as he was trying to test the boundaries because she kept saying no, I don't want to. So he kept pushing to see if she was going to do it.
Mm.
And then on top of that, when she finally decided to write him a song, mind you, it came after they done had a little tissy fit and they ain't really been vibing. So it seemed like she really wrote it to try to smooth things over because he's been asking her to sing. That's a bad premise off rip. Well, no, you don't do something just to try to smooth something over. That you just did it at the wrong time. It was terrible. But then you're gonna tell. This why this. You're gonna tell me that you felt some type of enough feeling for him to have the juices flowing, and it made you write a song. Listen,
See, if he was a romantic gentleman, help me out with this. If he was a romantic and really interested in her, and he asked her to sing, and she felt shy about it, wouldn't he rather he sing to her? Well, I ain't no professional, but I'ma sing to you.
I would have been like, "Hey, how about we sing together? Come on, let's make a song."
See, y'all hear Trey? Y'all hear Trey? Y'all hear that player?
Ain't nothing play about it. It's just hey, listen. You going to be into somebody, be into that person. That's all what it is. Now it was just weird. The whole thing was weird, and like I said, this is the one part that I didn't like him. I didn't like the way he was coming off, but as I was thinking about it, I had to agree with him. She came off very susceptible of being manipulated, and that turned into the turn off for me. I was like, you're that type of girl. I don't know about that. I don't want to talk to some woman that I can easily manipulate because it seemed like it turned into a game for him to a certain point.
It did. It seemed like he was a puppet master pulling the strings.
And she just went right along with it.
Yeah. Is there anything else y'all want to say before we move on to the next couple? Life is Reality. We've only done Sophie, Kieran, and Megan so far. I'd like you to pick the next at bat. Who would you like to talk about?
Okay, let's go with Katisha, Demola, and Javon.
I know you were going there. You see, I was ready.
Yeah, I was like, you gonna go for the big one? I was like, you gonna save it?
No, hey. We got lots to say about Cal and Sarova. We have lots, but we'll, end light with Billy Ashley and Jetta and Barda. This is okay.
Yeah, let's talk about Big Bird.
Let's run it. Ooh. So yeah, obviously a little love triangle situation going on. Now, for me, I felt like Katisha was like feeding Demola the hopes that they were going to work out, that she was going to pick him right to the very end. And then all of a sudden just changed her mind with, like he had no warning. He was probably completely shell-shocked because for all he knew, everything he was pouring into her, she was receptive. And, yeah, then she goes and picks Javon, who I don't even think was really into her. Like, I think he saw it as a contest, the way he was talking in the men's group. You know, trying to sabotage the connection with Damola and Katisha by saying that, you know, he's love bombing, like basically Damola's love bombing, like, and that was a very disrespectful and wild thing to do, in order to try to win the girl. And not only did he say it in the men's group, but he also told her that too. So I wasn't feeling that.
He's very vocal. I don't think that in the UK y'all like NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, because the cast is certainly all over the internet talking. So he's saying that whole love bombing thing was not meant for Damola. That was edited. It was meant for somebody else who was just, you know, doing too much for the lady he was interested in the pods. Okay,
is that right?
But he's the judge of doing too much when he does little to nothing at all. Okay, so the fact that he's the one to even say that, you know, is interesting to me. The fact that will come out your mouth, because for me, when we met Javin, all he said is marriage helps a man live longer. He didn't say nothing about a wife. He didn't say nothing about kids. Nothing about legacy. Nothing about, hey, you know, this will make me a better man. I can't wait to have my woman, and we live longer together. He wanted a wife to take care of him so he can live longer.
I don't think he even wanted that. He was here to play the game. He's off rip. He came this. I'm just here to play.
Well, we see that with his lack of a suit for a reveal.
I mean, yo, I've never listen. You know when women complaining about men and how they act, whatever. We just got a good example on TV. You know, got a good example. So I'm like, wow, is this what we all judged off of? Don't judge me off of this dude. This is crazy. Okay, this is crazy. Because I didn't listen. Big Bird was getting on my nerves, and yes, Big Bird is Katisha. I'm sorry, she was a big, pretty, dumb bird. Okay, it was burning me up when you meet a girl that fine and she's that dumb. Jay, I know what I'm talking about. You meet a girl she's that fine and that dumb. What is happening?
Okay, members, you have a clutching pearls emoji that you could certainly drop in the chat. Ooh.
Clutch them, because oh my God, give me the big blow your head up emoji. Pull your hair out. I was like, this girl cannot be this serious. How are you going to say, oh my God, I have dated men like Javon in the past and I haven't had good results with them. You know, they've hurt me, this and that and third. You know the type of dude he is. You said those type of dudes have hurt you. He's told you the type of dude that he is. Believe him. Yeah, you still choose him. Oh, you want to talk about breadcrumbing? So he has Sophie beat, which is probably what happens later on going to happen. They match. Personality-wise, they match. So I get it now. But nah, he breadcrumber. Give her the bare minimum. On one hand, you got a man that's actually affirming you, saying what he wants, being very direct. I got plans. This is what we're going to do. And this is how I'm going to protect you.
We say we need a man with a plan, with intention.
He ran it out. And then you know what? Damola's not stupid. He knew the whole time that, you know, she was talking to Javon. So he's like, okay, all right. In his mind, I'm going to tell you exactly what he was thinking. He was like, yo, all right. She talking to Javon. Yo, this dude a buster. Dang, I hope she see that. She got to see that. She got to see he a buster, right? But as time going along, he's like, man, he's still hanging around. So that leads me to the question that he asked her when she said, I made my choice and I want to be with you, right? He paused and said, you're not just going to change your mind tomorrow. That was a very strange question to ask a woman, which leads me to believe he was already seeing the signs that she's very fleeting. Very fleeting. She's a runner. She's a track star. She runs away from something that she knows is good for her.
Well, she did say it.
Yeah.
She did say it. But the reason why I think Katisha too, we know self-sabotage. We know, yes, we saw in the chat, rejection is protection says she, taking that final step, she wasn't able to do it. We see that with folks. Taking that last step is, getting rid of the rest of what's holding you back. The thing that startled me a lot, and I was like, it's very deep rooted for Katisha, is she couldn't even take that compliment from Bardha in the ladies' lounge. Bardha said, "Why wouldn't he want you? You are amazing." And she couldn't take that. She started bawling, crying. So for me, I don't think Katisha understands her value, her worth. I don't know where her self-esteem is, but she doesn't see herself the way that the people around her who barred her in only a few days, saw it. I don't think Katisha sees it in herself.
She doesn't, which is sad. And it's funny thing, I think the Mola saw that too, just by talking to her. That's why he was pouring so much into her, or trying to. I mean, he was into her.
I don't like the fact that she went back on her word.
Ooh, that hurt.
That was it for me. If you told that man nothing is going to change and he got that verbally from you, and then you go back, and you know what? I want to know. She says she's had a cheater that she has taken back again and again and again and again. And I wonder, does she not know the play of, I'll just sit here and finish my drink? Did she not know the minute you sit there and finish your drink, you are got?
Well, here's the thing, Elsie. I'm gonna say this from experience, okay? Especially when you're dealing with women that is being used to being locked in relationships after relationships are always being cheated on. It is sometimes very difficult for them to get with someone who is not a cheater or keeps their word or, actually stands on their principles. They don't know how to react in that setting. They panic a lot. And they quickly, I need to go back to what's familiar. Even though this might hurt me in the end, this, that, third, this is familiar because they don't want to be in a situation when you, i.e., since we're talking this situation, you, i.e., get a good man, and then something happens and just happen, you do them dirty. Now you're the one that looks crazy. They usually don't want to be in that type of situation.
If she didn't make a promise, I would not have been on her about this. If she did not accept and promise that nothing will change tomorrow, I wouldn't be on her because I'm like, until a decision is made, we are all open, and single.
But that's why Demola asked. That's exactly why Demola asked.
Or what is his past? What is Demola's dating past? We don't know. Has his dating past have women that did not keep their promises to him?
Absolutely. I'd go 100% on that. Just by the way he had, because I'm be honest, listen, I like Demola the most out of all the guys that was there. Just me personally. But I have to give him this little bit of smoke. And there was a part of me that went, bro, you're doing too much. Okay? You're doing too much. You're pouring into this woman a lot, and she's not giving much in return. Like, she's really not. She's just, oh God, being hard to accept your compliments and everything. She's not really giving you much in return at all. Bro, now, I put it like this. The only reason why I accepted it because in this type of situation, love is blind, whatever, you got to move fast a little bit. You got to be intentional. You got to get on it. If this is real life, I'll be like, hey, bro, nah, hold on. Relax a little bit. Relax. Sit back and watch for a second and see what she do.
He's got 10 days.
Exactly. So that's why I said just a little bit of smoke. That's it.
He got the snacks that he ain't never tried before. This is what I was waiting on JR to come here. Do we not have a lot of Spanish restaurants around? Or I'm just literally asking in London and so forth. Because he said he'd never had Spanish food before.
Yeah, there's Spanish restaurants. I was looking at one the other day. There's quite a few. We got a place called Little Portugal down here, where it's just
Nice.
loads of Portuguese food, and they got a whole strip to themselves and things, whole little area.
Now Demola is saying, he's the finance guy, he's the nerd, he's the the boring side of him is being an accountant. But I think the other side that I don't think many people pick up on is the way it was edited and the way it was shown is that Demola it seemed like his grandmother's caretaker or primary custodian, whatever, at the, latter part of her life. So I'm going to ask, she's a nanny. He took care of his grandmother. I'm like, are we not seeing the nurturing side of each other, or is it that I don't want anybody nurturing like me?
Have you ever, I was going to make a statement. I was going to pose it as a question. Have you ever seen two nurturers together? You don't see it that much. You don't really see it.
Yeah. Usually opposites attract, right? So
yeah. It's almost like they're natural for some reason, but heads, like who's gonna nurture more? Or they're used to nurturing and not receiving nurture themselves. So
right,
it's like,
so she's used to pouring out but not receiving. Demola would be able to, do that. Yes, he does seem like an over giver, but it is, to me that's not a bad thing. But Katisha has always been the giver, because remember, she's the eldest. She had to help take care of her siblings. She also left home early. It may seem like smothering to her.
Could be. Because Demola, in contrast, I think he is a little more used to receiving nurture because he got it from his grandma. They had a very close relationship. I don't know if he was a caretaker though, but I can see if he was. But it just seemed like, that was his best friend. They used to just go on walks together, spend time with her, and she would just talk about her past, whatever he was soaking in. But either way, it was a nurturer getting nurtured back. He was
in touch with his emotions.
Yeah, he was getting back from her what he gave to her. She gave it back. So that probably allows a person to open up a little bit more, especially for a guy, to have that type of close relationship.
I have an unpopular opinion. I think Katisha made the right decision for herself.
I think she made the right decision for Demola. I don't think she would have hurt that man.
Yeah, that's true.
She would hurt that man.
True.
She would have been what Javin had said. Remember, Javin said he had poured 100% into a relationship. I don't believe it, but I don't know that man. And the person did not, give him back what he was pouring into it. I think that may have been, huh?
I think that was true. That's why he's so cold now. A lot of men act like that. A lot of men get very jaded when they actually open themselves up for the first time to a chick, and then they get played a little bit. If you notice, they go cold turkey for like a long time afterwards. Like, it's hard for them to open up ever again. It's that whole, I've been hurt before syndrome. They only take for guys can be very fragile. Let's just be honest about ourselves when it comes to our emotions. We guard it so much because it's societal weights or whatever that's put on us. But when you actually open up and you get hit hard, hurt, they hardly ever do it again. Ever.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a star in his head. Remember, he's a football star. I mean, Javin, giving him props where props is due. He was, on a very premier football team. Yeah. So he still, when I did the Meet the Cast and I read that about him and his injury stopped him from playing, I said, I hope he has adjusted to regular civilian life, because being a football star out there in the UK, if people are recognizing him, knowing him, that could be something else in the dynamic that you are used to, the roar of the fans kind of thing.
He was a future playboy that never got to play. That's basically his life. He was a future playboy that never actually got to play the game. Because
he's a player.
Yeah, he's a player. He knows he's a player.
He's a player, that's for sure.
Player. That was the first thing I wrote down when I saw him. He likes cats and he's a playboy wannabe. That's the first two things I wrote down. And the cats thing threw me off. I was like, okay, that's interesting.
Is a cat for the ladies, though? Is a cat for the ladies?
For the girls, maybe. Maybe.
He likes to chase the cat. He likes. Yeah. Yeah. That's
and didn't he say that in his confessionals? He likes to chase women. He likes to chase. Like, we knew what time he was about to be on. And that's, I guess that's the thing that frustrated me about Big Bird. She told Javin, Javian, as I said. Javin. She told Javin. Yes, Javin knew basically she was going to choose Demola. He said, I was about to go home, but I decided to stick around and, to hear her out, see what she's going to say. Cool. Go in that room. She actually gives him the ammo that he needed to pull her back in. She's like, I just wish you would have said something about how much you felt about me, this, that, third, yada, yada. And what's the very next thing he does? Oh, I did like you. I liked you a lot. This is all the reasons why I liked you, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, you cannot tell me this is about to work. And I'm looking at her face. I'm like, oh my God, this is working.
It's working.
Oh no. My whole face. Y'all remember the movie Planet of the Apes with Bad Ape? Yep. Oh no. I was like, no. Oh no. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. This is not working. Oh, and then Javin had to go back in that room with the I just won. Yo, he was cocky as heck when he came back in that man's lounge. What? The Mola looked dejected. Like, oh, really? Wow. But he played it off well.
Yes.
He congratulated him. Hey, congratulations, no love loss here, you know what I'm saying? We cool. They ain't really cool, but we cool. This is all good, bro.
Now, gentlemen, I have to say, okay, now if I didn't realize anything about my opinion with Javin, I had to realize no amount of editing could throw that in. But the men's lounge, the fact that the men were not congratulating him, the men don't congregate around him. Basically, the men were keeping their distance from Javin, even all the way to the mixer. He's away from everybody. The men aren't on his side. That told me all I needed to know. We in the men's lounge. This is where we kick it and we talk. And when I heard him say, well, that's how women are. They can't make up their mind. They don't know what they want.
That was wild. That was, even though it was true, that was wild. I was like, yo. What? I started laughing after that. I was like, wow. He actually said it out loud. This is crazy. And Demola's the type of dude, he just ain't gonna run back and just, gossip and, say, hey, you made that, which is why I like him. You made that choice, that's your choice.
That's what Demola said. He's just gonna play his game. He's gonna be himself, and if he's chosen, he's chosen. But Life is Reality, what did you think about the whole men had nothing to do with Javin?
Yeah, I mean, I noticed that too. And considering he's a football player, that is very weird because it's the most popular sport played here. So, a lot of people follow it. A lot of guys follow it. But yeah, I just feel like they felt Demola was just like the cooler guy, better person all round, and they gravitated towards him more. And he seemed the most genuine and authentic out of the two of them. So that's why I think people like Cal were like, in particular, was like trying to, try and find out why that choice was made. Because out of the two guys, you chose Javon. I don't think Cal could quite believe it. And then I also will give props to Demola because finding out that you were dropped in the men's lounge from Javon and not the lady in question first, that must have stung as well. So, but, he took it well, and I've got to commend him for that.
Because the men were all shaking Demola's hand, telling him he's an upstanding dude, more than they were celebrating Javin's engagement. That told me a whole lot.
Mhm.
That told me a heck of a lot.
For a split second, for one split second, I thought Demola was gonna deck Javin when he made that statement. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know how women are, they don't know what they want. You know what I'm saying? They change their mind at last minute, they don't know what they want. For the camera panned to his face. I think that was real time. I don't think that was edited, whatever. I think that was real time. They panned to his face, and for a split second, in his eyes, I could see him. He wanted to defend Katisha and knock this dude out for disrespecting her, but then Javin's words resonated in his head. He went, "I can't be mad," because that's exactly what happened.
Just to answer a question in the chat, Demola is 30, Katisha is 31, and Javin is 28.
Oh, he's 28?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Well, Auntie about to get broke. Auntie about to get broke.
28 to 31 ain't no auntie differential.
Hey,
come on now.
Listen, well, you remember the chart. Don't maybe bring the chart up. She's an auntie now. You know the chart. She an auntie. She be glad she ain't no Thundercat yet. Okay, she an auntie.
Well, Michelle said, I didn't like at the reveal how Javin said Katisha has a big smile. I know what he wanted to say. Yes, I know.
Ooh.
It wanted to say what that mouth do, and he just didn't say it like that.
Wow, yeah.
He did not. That's the only compliment he had. First of all, a man showing up to propose like that, no. Your ankle socks are showing, okay, in the sneakers you are wearing to propose. Come bare feet. I'd rather you come bare feet. Come on now.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a fan of the wear sneakers with suits. That's just not me. Maybe I'm too old school. I know it's the thing now, but I just can't get into it. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of it.
He was not dressed appropriately. You two men are very, I will say what I have seen of you. Y'all are well dressed. Y'all can get snazzy. This is screaming. This man did not pack a suit to propose to anyone. He is a football player. I know y'all have press days, and he has a suit. So again, Javin did not come with his suit from football to even propose to a lady. So he knew in his mind when he came there, he was just there for a short time, not for a long time, and he did not prepare. Now, Netflix, here's my thing. Netflix, what I did not like is y'all zooming in on that young man, okay? Zooming in on that young man after they done slobbered all over each other and realized that he was happy, rubbing up against this lady. Netflix, I'm watching y'all. How y'all are panning your stuff. I'm watching it. I was like, okay, Javin was not dressed appropriately. Why are y'all panning to him? You could have focused on her when he was walking away. I'm sorry. Again, we're being used.
Yeah, we all are. They gotta. I'm sorry, Big Bird, but they gotta play up the fact that even they know you made a bad decision. This is just pure television drama. We know you made a bad decision, so guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna show you all your bad decisions on camera. This is edited. This is a show now. You can't forget it's a show. It's a show. It is sad because, and the biggest elephant in the room, she gave up the booty. He talking bad about it. Oh my God.
Lack of being a gentleman. All the other men are like, hey, I'm not going to talk. I'm going to be a gentleman about it. He's like, yeah, what y'all want to know? Yeah, we didn't sleep much. I ain't got much sleep last night. What you want to know?
I was like, wow. Wow. And then it didn't make it any better. You got, was it Megan? It was Megan and Barter, right? They were sitting on the couch at the mid-surgery. Now, I did find it weird. I think Megan was told to be the woman to ask all the questions. They send somebody out to ask the questions. Because I thought it was weird how Megan was trying to ask all these probing questions. I'm like, where's she getting at? But then she get asked about, have y'all even told each other I love you, this and that,
That's
third, whatever?
Ashley. That's Ashley.
It was Ashley? Yes, I'm sorry, Ashley. Yeah, that's it. Ashley was the token to send out to get all the girls talking and see, see where they at. Because it was very odd. They seen she wasn't used to it, but I was like, well, this is weird. But you got brought up. She's like, yes, we told each other we love her. It's sweet. Blah blah blah. Ashley like, yeah, we there already. And they put that camera on Katisha. She looked like a deer in headlights. Just like what? She was like, well, it was just, we haven't. We take our time. And I'm thinking, like, in that moment, I'm looking at her eyes. I'm like, yo, in that moment, she just registered, yo, I just gave up the booty without even knowing how this guy really feel about me. Like, now, mind you, this wouldn't, I'm going to just say it, this would not be an issue if that is what she actually wanted as well. If she was confident and, hey, I just wanted to get my rocks off too, hey, nothing to say about this. There's nothing to say. Y'all on the same page. You good. But the fact that we can see is going off in your head, like, oh God, what did I do? This is
not only there, when they were standing at the high table, this is a man and a woman who didn't get much sleep last night. And we are standing next to each other, shoulders not touching. We're not even looking at each other. I mean, that just told me I am the one night stand that just don't know when to leave and go back home. That's what it felt like. You are there with that man standing there, and y'all are standing up, and there is a wide gap between y'all, and y'all ain't even speaking. What the heck is going on? Was it not good? I mean, what we doing?
It seemed like some PNC, seemed like some post-nut clarity went down, and
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
Laid down some BBD and got some PNC, some post-nut clarity. And
I hate to be crude. I hate to be crude, but let's keep it real. You're right, Elsa. It probably wasn't all that. He just, he got what he needed from it. It was average, cool. Now we're just gonna keep it moving.
Let me use this right here. Give me 4 seconds.
I hate to be shady unless I really have to. I hate
to be shady unless I really have to, because it looked like buyer's remorse, and we ain't got no receipts for the pods. We can't return to sender. And my thing is, if you've done that, and it's fine, they're grown, they're adult, they are engaged. That is perfectly fine. What I don't need is 3 days later you try to spin the block on Demola.
Especially after you went to bed with Javon as well. Like, so not only did you choose him, but you've been to bed with him as well.
Javon is still, let's put it this way. Javon is still with you 5 days later. Okay? If we're talking about biology and anatomy, he is still a part of you 5 days later.
You know what? I don't think she has the pride within herself to even try that. What she is going to do is maneuver herself in a position to leave the door open for Demona to swoop in and save her, for him to make the choice. But her making the actual effort to, hey, Demona, I made a bad decision. I should have chose you. What can I do to make this right? Whatever. Take that responsibility. She ain't doing it.
You're right. You're right, because left to her own to break up with Javin, she didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And even Demola had to say, hey, something is up, something is wrong, please tell me. So she's not going to take the initiative.
At all. At all. She ain't built like that. It's just because she ain't built like that.
See, a past player as such as myself would have...
Oh man, you would have.
That would be prime playing time.
Would have spent the block on the Mola. He would be like, yes, please, thank you. He would have been saying,
but you see again, we don't know Demola, of course, and he may have a hero's complex, and a true player will let him be a hero. Please come save me. I need saving. It would turn it around on him.
Saving for myself.
I would say anti-hero, because I think he has enough sense to be like, this is the type of guy I am. Listen, you chose that guy over me
on
in my
international television.
even in my own head. I am better than him. He's beneath me. You chose an a-hole. Stick with your choice. You are not the type of woman I need to be with if you're gonna choose somebody like that. You know, it is what it is. You know, I have a bad tendency of this. This could be bad when I say it, but it has afforded me to stay out of bad situations. I have a terrible tendency of judging a woman off of who she's dated. If I've seen that you have dated busters in the past, why would I want to be with you? That means you have a buster's mentality.
Well, because I've grown now. I have healed and sought therapy, and I'm doing way better now, so I'm ready.
I haven't seen it. You just telling me this. I need to see it. What you talking about? What?
Do you need to see the co-pays for the therapist?
The only thing that tells me that you attempted to receive some help. Now I got to see in your actions, are you going to use what you learned? You going to use it? Is it lasting?
Players mess up from time to time. Don't hold it against me.
But she ain't the player though. See, players don't see. She ain't the player, and players don't do this. Players don't do this. You want if you do play. See, let's think about Javon. We ain't got to worry about this from him because he's a player mentality. He ain't never gonna get caught up like this.
Right.
And if he do get caught up, it's okay, whatever. That's gonna be
no promises made.
Exactly. That's gonna be his attitude. Okay, whatever. Got what
Are there any last thoughts about this? This group.
Big birds belong on Sesame Street.
Any other?
Well, I think it's going to be interesting when her and Damola lay eyes on each other. I think she's going to have a little bit of buyer's remorse. Thing is, even if she was to try and open herself up to Damola now, him and Javon are so different. So, he could easily be like, so is that your normal type, but you're trying to experiment with me?
Right.
Or, was that too boring for you? Like, he'll have a little bit of insecurity about how it all played out. But I just hope he has the self-respect to say, listen, you made your choice. As tough as it is, we both have to live with it. I hope he doesn't like sloppy seconds.
Right. I hope so too. I agree with you. I hope Damola does, tell her you need to stand by a choice. And, she's going to realize Damola is a tall, fit, fine, six-pack carrying king. I mean, she will see him and see a buyer's remorse, okay? She will see it. I mean, the way he dressed in the pods did not give, the fine part of him. But if you go to his Instagram, ladies, you certainly can. And I'm sure some of y'all are there in his DMs. So I think Damola's going to land on his feet. I'm not going to, canonize him like some people are calling him, Holy Damola, because I don't know much about him. Because when we first see him, I'm going to throw a little salt in the water. When we first saw him, he said, I can't flirt like I usually flirt. So I'm wondering how does he usually date? Because everybody here is single for a reason. Okay?
I mean, flirting. What do you mean by dating? I guess we got to get some particulars.
Exactly.
Dating.
Exactly. We will see. We will see what what's going on with them. So let's move on. We have 3 more couples to go. We could go on to the next hot topic. Or I think I picked one. Trey, who you want to go to?
You know what? Let's go ahead and let's do Carl and Sarova, because they're.
See, I was already hovering over it.
We're gonna get the hard ones out of the way. We're gonna get the hard ones out of the way. So yeah.
Now, Cal has a Pakistani background. She has an Indian background. But they both were born in the UK. Cal has a preference for blondes, and I'm not too on his neck about that because that's his mama. Okay. So you know how we always say men looking for a woman like their mama. Cal has been dating women like his mama. So I'm not going to say that he doesn't, his preferences because he doesn't like himself or whatever. I'm not going there. I think that Cal went to Dubai to connect with his father and to connect with that side of his heritage. That's just, again, my opinion. Sarova said she was a people pleaser and she never dated any other men but Indian men. So we're dealing with both people who have not dated outside of their niche. Here's my issue is, again, if y'all go look up the history of India and Pakistan and British colonizing all the way back to Gandhi. This is a people that in many instances are still feuding. But, you know, Sarova says that her family has welcomed in other cultures. Other cultures have married into the family. I need to know what those other cultures are. If there is an Indian, if there's a Pakistani man or a Pakistani woman in the family already, I'm chill. If there isn't, I'm worried. But what I do appreciate is Cal came, the way Javin didn't, Cal came in his traditional vestments that, you know, is for, you know, formal attire for weddings when he met whoever he intended to propose to. He seems like a stand-up guy. We don't know him. But again, you know, life is reality. And y'all in the UK tell me class could be an issue. But one thing I have not heard from them, and I'll land it here, is what's the religion? What's the religion here? Are we both Muslim? Is one Hindu, one Muslim? Huh?
I thought they both were Muslim. Oh, no, I'm thinking about Jared and Paul.
Right. Okay. I didn't hear religion. So that will be my other part of it. So Trey, what do you think about Cal and Sarova since you picked them?
I see hope there, but I have some of the same worries that you have. It's one of those things of they seem to get along fine. It seems like they're both conscious enough to make conscious decisions to work on their relationship and make things work. Their issues is going to come from outside influences. That's what's going to be their challenges. Pure and simple. The only other thing I see popping up initially, because I had wrote down something for Sarova, the first thing that I picked up from her, that she's a list girl. She had a whole bunch of lists that she wanted a man to be. You have to be careful with that. But the only saving grace was she said, you know, I came here to try to get past that. You know, so coming on this type of show, yeah, you can probably get past that. And you met this guy and y'all seem to work things out. You know, at least they're both conscious in the fact that they understand that, you know, he's half Pakistani and she is Indian. There may be issues. They both know this. So that gives me some hope. It's as long as they can stay firm together, it might can work. The only issue is they are both from cultures that submit themselves with the family first. And how the family moves, you move. So even though I say, hey, y'all, even though from in my mindset, being from America, no, it's what y'all two build together. That's going to be our family. You know, it really ain't gonna matter how the outside family feel. I can't take that into full effect. You know, these are two people from two different type of cultures that is strongly embraced in family. So they're going to have to, you know, their families is going to have some input. And I'm
Trey, add to the fact that it's family business. They're both in their family's business.
Yes, heavily. So it's, yeah. And since y'all brought it up, I am wondering about the class thing, because She does. She definitely seems like she's from a higher class. But I never got the sense that Carl is from a lower class either, especially from
I
what
can
he
answer that one.
Okay. What you got for us?
Well, what I learned on Little Black Book 91 when we did the live on Saturday at 2 p.m. EST, what I learned from Life is Reality and those from the UK who spoke on it, I asked Trey, I thought his brother being in the military will be revered since he is a veteran.
Yeah, I heard that part. I heard it all. Yeah.
But I think what the other panelist at the time, I forgot his name, he said that no, sometimes people of a lower class, that is the only other option for them to do, which is enter the military. So that's where I would think that. But Michelle is saying where she's from, Buckinghamshire or Shire, that she is definitely from a little higher up on the instep.
Where is he from? It's from a wagon. Where is he from?
He's from Wigan.
Wigan.
Yeah, Wigan's in Yorkshire.
And how's that area? What's that area like?
Rough. Lots of non-melanated people in, but it's a pretty rough area compared to where she's from.
Guess
who's coming to dinner, Trey?
The dude from Wigan. Oh my God. We're gonna catch some heart attacks. Is that what we're saying? We setting ourselves up for that. Ooh.
Well, she said her family did apologize for, pushing in a certain direction to please them. Let's see how deep this apology and acceptance goes. If it would extend to a man of a different class, I'm not going to say he's lower, of a different class, and how it extends to someone who has a Pakistani heritage. Also, Cal has his father left the family. So we have multi-layers going on here. So again, it is very, very interesting. All the layers and all the slices of the onion, they have to peel away to get to, a good, place. But it can happen. We just don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think those two by themselves, I think it could work. But like I said, it's going to depend on how these family situations go. Like, it's going to play a huge factor, a big factor. Even the smallest comment is going to be a factor here. So this is very interesting. Very interesting.
Life is Reality. Your thoughts on this couple?
Yeah, I agree with Trey. The fact that one's from India, one's from Pakistan, historically don't really like each other like that, and their families usually lead with tradition. So there's usually arranged marriages, and so that means the family has an input in who you get married to and things. Obviously, that's not the case here. So because she's got the autonomy to make her own choice, the family are going to scrutinize that even more. They're going to be like, what? He chose this guy. And let's not forget, he is half white as well. So there may be an issue with marrying outside the culture with both of those combination. But yeah, they actually do get on very well. And I think he's been trying to reassure her that even though he may not have dated someone like her previously, he's done with his previous type. He's willing to give this a go. And I think there was a little bit of insecurity that crept in when she saw Bada and some of the other ladies. And obviously noticing every time he spoke to Bada, like she was kind of looking over. But at the end of the day, I think they could work, but it'll be tough. The external fact, it really depends on how the family is accepting on both sides of their union. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me address rejection is protection. I know it's like, why is no one mentioning Cal's preference? It's a repeat of Ollie, Demi, Catherine triangulation. Here's the thing where I you know, I don't put it in the same category because Cal's mom is Caucasian. Again, I'm not saying his preference is completely outside of the realm. Like all these, all these mother that we saw was not Caucasian. So there's a difference between a preference, okay, in that regard, where your mother is Caucasian, and a preference where you're just, going outside of, who your mother or your family member is. That's why I'm not pushing on Cal's preference, because his preference is rooted in who raised him, who is his mother. This is a woman who raised him and his two brothers when his father left, and he has seen resilience in his mother. I'm not saying that, there aren't Cals out there who have both, East Indian parentage, okay? But, if that's your mother, then I would put it on, how they say men look for their mothers and women look to marry someone like their dad. That's a category. That's why I don't put too much pressure on his preference. That's why I thought Ollie's mom was Caucasian too, but the lady at the wedding didn't seem like it, Michelle. But I could be a stepmom. I just don't know. But if someone's mom is of what category into preference, I don't put too much weight on it. That's their mother. That's what they're looking for.
Yeah, you usually date who you are around.
Exactly.
The type of people you see type of women in your family. That's kind of usually the women you kind of go for, at least starting off. It's kind of what you get used to.
Because you see that as the norm, because that's what you've grown up seeing, or you've seen most of the time. So you see that as the norm for how, to a certain degree, the qualities that you will have. But
go ahead.
I was gonna say her preference of usually dating Indian men. He ain't that either. He's Pakistani and he's mixed race, so that's not her norm either. So that makes it interesting.
Yeah, she's never dated. She's only dated Indian men.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Got that going on too. And you said it, Jay. Insecurities, I think, are going to pop up a little bit, and some of it's going to be self-inflicted. She's going to be reading into some things that's not there. I can see it coming. Now, I will say, it's not going to be all her fault because, listen, loveisblind, y'all ain't slick. Y'all purposely put Kyle beside Barter a lot of those times, just for her to look over and see them sit together, and for her to talk about what that's usually the preference. And you could tell that one when it was sitting in the pool, you could tell Barter was sitting there like, "Why is Kyle coming over here?" He was sitting there,
right?
He was looking like, "Why am I over here?" He looked like, "Why am I over here?" Somebody told him to go sit over there and like, "Hey, we need you to go talk to so and so. These two, we need you to go talk so and so, to get camera footage." And then they purposely filmed us too. Oh, y'all ain't slick. Y'all got sent over there. And then sent her over there to make things awkward.
Right. I think they distracted her or whatever. She was distracted. And when he went over there and somebody pointed out, why don't you go, because I don't think it's her to just sit between them like that. I thought that was production.
It's weird. It was very weird. They even looked like it was weird. Yeah. Everybody was like, okay, that's okay. Yeah, you can sit down. Everybody just talking. Like
they have enough pieces of the puzzle that they have to try and fit together. They're that 5,000 piece puzzle because they have so many layers that got to connect. Especially coming from the family. But I do hold out hope for them because they seem to be really liking each other. He did say, "Hey, I am happy and glad you are not that preference," because I think he wants to. He's like, "Hey, my preference didn't work before. They're attractive, but it didn't work before." So I think he made the step out on a limb that we wish Katisha would do. But anything else about this couple?
Something adjacent to them. I thought it was very strange that production sent Kyle to go talk to Katisha about the whole Demola situation. I was like, this is weird. Why are you sending him to talk to her? Like, very weird.
That I don't think is production, because Cal had a lot to say in the men's lounge about if this how she moving, she ain't for you. He had a lot to say.
He had a lot to say, but them just going over there to have that talk, nah, that was set up. That was just set up. He was willing to do it though. He was willing
he's
to
like,
go.
oh, my turn?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
He was willing to go. Which told me a little bit about him. He likes to get a little spicy. I'm like, how that's gonna turn out. He got a little petty in him. I don't know how this is gonna go. I don't know.
And Katisha was surprised that he was as invested, you know, like, why are you asking me all these questions?
It was weird.
If you notice, there wasn't any like formality, like no formal chit chat. It was just straight to, so what happened with that connection, you know?
He was trying to dig into it. She was like, excuse me? What? What? Well, why
it's like he was telling her, look, you made a huge mistake. But without saying,
stay out my business, sir. You know, you may not like it, but don't be mentioning another man around my fiance.
But she ain't built like that.
No, she's not.
She ain't built like that, you know. So she just gonna look flustered. I just made a decision. I'm like, oh my god, yeah. Big Bird just had her mouth open.
That also tells you Cal is not listening to his woman Sarova, who told him kind of like leave it alone.
Yeah. Ooh. Interesting. Small developments. Interesting.
Yes. So let's move on to the last two. Let's move on to the real cutesy couple, Jed and Bardha, and then the last one will be Billy and Ashley. And for those of you who are here in the membership, we are having a members live at 8:30. Okay, I would just need a little bit of, grab some water and a snack. But we having a members live tonight at 8:30, and it's for 18 and over, please. Okay. So Jed and Bardha. I like them, but when I like a couple too much, they disappoint me.
I see some cracks, but I like.
Tell me about the cracks.
Water. Okay, Jed come across as a very traditional man. Water talks like she wants a very traditional man. The only problem that I see is going to arise is when she tries to assert some type of independence. They're gonna butt heads. I can see it coming. You know, and the only reason why it's gonna be bad is because Barter has portrayed herself in a certain type of manner that perfectly aligns with the type of woman Jed wants. So when she starts bucking back up, which is her right, how is he going to take that? So I'm like, but it's kind of funny. The first thing I wrote down for Barter, what did he that? First thing the first thing I wrote down for Barter, I went, okay, she's a Kardashian wannabe. That's the first thing I wrote. Kardashian wannabe. Then the second thing, as he got to know a little bit, I went, okay, I kind of like her. But then I started analyzing their conversation she had with Jed. They don't know each other. They never really asked any penetration questions of each other. They got the basis down, for what was shown to us. They got the basis down. They talk about their families, whatever. You know, it seemed to be all good. Similarities here. She was giving him assurances that, I think my dad will like you, the type of man that he probably wants to be, which honestly, that the more she was saying it, the more it had me thinking, I think her and her dad and him is going to bump heads for some odd reason over something. I don't know. It seemed like two alphas trying to assert dominance or something. I don't know. I'm getting the feeling like that.
Well, he is a perfectionist.
Yeah.
She has worked since she is 13 years old.
And she's used to making her own decisions.
She's at the highest level of the company she's with.
Yeah, I don't know. I can see it. It's
but she got butterflies.
She can like them all. Listen, Elsa, you know how this is about to go. These two have not had a real discussion about. Well, you know what? Let me be more critical. I do remember Jed asking the question of how she want the family structure to look like. She gave the very traditional answer. She want her man to lead, this, that, third, take care of her, provide for her, blah, 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 blah. He went check, 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 cool. She did not leave herself room to say, and I want to have a say-so in how things go in our relationship and family life, blah, 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 blah. I went, that was your time to do this. Y'all need to have a very frank conversation.
Or ask him what type of leader he is.
Yeah. Well, she kind of did. He gave a very traditional answer. And she was cool with that. My only thing is, you know, she comes. It's okay. This is what confused me about her. This is why I said she seemed very Kardashian. She talks and presents like she wants to be a traditional woman, but I know she's not a traditional woman in her mind. That is not the energy that she gives off. She talks a good game, but what her actual energy is something a little different. She's a very forceful woman. I can see it in her.
Well, you can see it based on what she said. She is not. She made sure she was quick to tell him she is not Muslim.
That was the only thing she really stood on. That was the only thing she really stood on. I don't know. Like I said, I think they're very cute. They are very cute together. They seem to get along very well. She likes him physically. He definitely likes her. Everything's looking good. I'm just wondering when it's time to really start making decisions. And he tries to be like, hey, we're doing this with that type of tone. And she goes, I don't agree. How is this going to go?
Oh, I want another name other than naming our child Sunday. Okay.
Yeah.
Life is reality.
I actually think this couple could work. Obviously, when they meet the family, there may be some issue because they are still from a different background, even though you're both European. But aesthetically, I think they go well together. I think they both like each other, like what they saw when the blind went down or went up or whatever. I think the traditional aspect, that's a variable because some Eastern European, yes, they are very traditional, and Muslim, very devout and strict on their faith and how they practice their life. So that may cause a clash if she's a bit more liberal, a bit more independent and free to do what she wants to do. And if she doesn't, adopt his religion or he doesn't adopt hers, there could be some trouble there. So that's where I see the problem coming, like the difference in the faith, because the faith affects the way that they view things and also the way they live their life as well. So that may come further down the line, but sooner or later, that rubber is going to hit the road and they're going to have to find out whether they can make it work despite that difference.
Well, I only hope that he, receives what he really wants, which is, someone that he can take home to the roast and that he can have, a very good relationship with her. But I do see the cracks you're saying, Trey. And, yes, Michelle, we don't think he's very religious, and his dad is Muslim. But his traditional values or views on a family will be rooted in the Muslim traditions he was raised on. So it may not be very strict, but it may definitely be based on those rules. He does like her. She does like him. They're very affectionate towards each other. They're both very, humble brag about it. They're not, oh, we're the best couple here. They're not. So I'm hoping that this, continues as it is. I really have hopes for them. But again, as I said, so anything else for them? Anything else for them? So we can go to the last one. Billy and Ashley, the two cadets.
This couple got together fast, like within a day. They were already on.
That's
I Love
just
You.
editing now. You know they wait.
I think about
editing.
Nah, I don't think that was edited too much. I think it was literally he heard her voice and he just said, "I love you."
It was quick, man. It was quick.
Let's get married. It's the one. So yeah, they do have similar background. She was a cadet and he's a military trainer or whatever. The logistics of it all, I don't know how it works because now she's in cabin crew. You know, she may spend 3 or 4 days away at a time, and he may also be stationed in places, military barracks, and doing different. You know,
Well, I think he's in one. I think what he's doing, he's in one spot now. So
okay.
He's pretty much. From how he explained it, he's on the tail end of his career, and he's doing one thing in one spot, very settled.
He's a trainer. He's a military trainer. And yes, Michelle, you're cabin crew. Guess what? Mama El Cid is cabin crew. So, hey, I understand where he's coming from. I'm sorry, Life is Reality. Go on ahead.
Yeah, I was going to actually pose a question. I was going to pose a question, and this is to both of you. Is it true? I mean, this applies mainly to the States, I guess. But you see, like how you asked if the military is held in high regard over here. My question would be, is it true what they say about military relationships? Like they don't usually end well. They don't usually end well. Like military people are quite freaky too. Like lots of swapping and
that's a yes or no
lots of shenanigans going down.
That's a yes or no answer. I can give you many examples where it can be very fleeting. I can also give you many examples where you got husbands and wives, 20-year marriages. You know, it just depends on the people.
Okay.
But there was for a while a growing segment of a lot of people just having these contract marriages. You know, they go overseas, they single while they overseas, come home, babies. Yeah, it happens, but it's not everybody. It's just like with everything else around. But even though it might be a small sect, it does speak loudly for the others at times.
Everybody ain't Tyler.
True. Absolutely. Everybody's not
Tyler. Or Bree. Or Bree.
Now, what I thought you were going to ask is people say, that, the captains and cabin crew are promiscuous. That is another,
No, we already know that.
Oh, it's like that over there?
It's assumed in general that, if they're staying away for 3-4 days, like what happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas kind of deal.
It's also, that the captains drink a lot.
Yes, they do. So, like, a captain got escorted off a plane the other day before it was about to take off because he was drunk.
Oh, wow.
Yep, I saw that. Sorry, Michelle is like, no comment.
Don't get quiet now. No. We need your expertise. Okay? Tell us. What is it really like in them skies? Tell us.
Everybody's assigned their own hotel room when they are away from their base. So whether you stay there overnight is optional.
Stay there? You mean who they're inviting there overnight?
Well, hey, that's what I mean. You either creep in or somebody creep into you.
Exactly. Sometimes there's some different type of missions being instigated at nighttime.
Oh, wow. Michelle, you have a great schedule because here, even though my mother has seniority, she is gone for 4 days and home for 4 days.
To me, that's, you know what? I'm going to say, I thought Billy was being a little too strict about her being what's cabin crew. To me, I was trying to figure out, dude, what's the big issue? It seemed like you're making a big deal out of this. But then I had to try to, let's step back, put myself in his shoes, especially when he said he used to date a cabin crew woman. And I guess he experienced some of those things that JR was just talking about. So maybe that kind of put him off, like, oh. okay, wait a minute, because he was ready to, walk away real quick when you find out she was cabin crew. But he did bring it up to her. It was like, which I don't know if I like this, but he really was trying to get her to be like, okay, would you quit?
Right. That's what I was about to say.
And I'm like, I get it, but it just felt to me like, bro, like, because in my mind, maybe it's just this Americanized way of thinking. I was former military, okay? Even in my current career, I'm away from home. When I was former military, I could be deployed, going to be away. So if I'm going to be away, I felt like I should accept a woman that probably has a job that might keep her away as well. We just have to try to make this work.
Agreed. But he was like, it's either you quit your job to be with me and raise my children, or we done. It seemed very ultimatum-ish to me. He did not leave any area where, maybe I can adjust my schedule or adjust, I still want to be in the military. There was no leniency, or even ask her, hey, when you start a family, do you think you're going to consider still being cabin crew? Ask her.
But the only reason why I'm not too stringent on it, because it seemed like she was ready to give it up anyway. She seems willing. So I'm like, okay, I mean, if she doesn't have an issue with it, why should I?
Right.
Leads me to my question. Now,
but you should have an issue, because what else in her life is he going to ask her to give up?
And that'll be the next question. But that's something she should be worrying about. Why are we coming up with these good questions? And you should be asking yourself. It's like, I guess that's the thing that made me okay, first off, I think these two are the only couple that I'm not that worried about. They probably going to be able to make it to the end and get married. But it's not to say that I don't see problems with them.
He seems to have rigid thinking, and what happens when, and that is a hazard of military. He seems to have rigid thinking. If it doesn't go in the direction he wishes for it to go, how is he easily to pivot? And what if she doesn't want to go line dancing anymore? What if she cannot catch on to the steps? Because we saw that he wasn't a very good instructor from the pods. Okay.
Okay, that's line dancing. He might be an excellent military instructor. Okay.
Right.
He might be just good at this area. Just because you're instructor don't mean you're good in all instructions. Don't
right.
Like that. And yes, he is a little too strict. But
you're not training your wife, Trey.
Who says? Let me stop playing. I'm playing.
He might be training her how to peel some potatoes and polish some shoes.
Hey, listen.
Hey, she was the one taking care of the family, so she may know.
We hope she knows. I think that's the question you're trying to figure out. Like, hey, what's going on with hey, are you able to handle this job? Okay. Are you able to handle it?
Are you able to handle this mission, soldier?
Yeah. Shape up.
Now Michelle asked a question. Why did his marriage end?
Good question. We don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, she didn't ask.
Yeah,
we saw.
Weird that we saw. Yes. I would have been asking.
Or they didn't air it.
I don't know. It's a lot of questions.
Rejection is protection thing. Ashley said she was thinking about working on ground crew, so Billy was unnecessarily hard. He lives in NI and she lives in England. Where will they live? Another Stephen and Sabrina vibes here. Yes.
How far are they apart? How far is that apart?
Northern Ireland. That's Northern Ireland.
Okay.
Yeah, completely different country.
Oh.
Within the United Kingdom still, but it's definitely divided by water.
He's requiring her to move.
Yes, he is going to require her. She has to move. He ain't moving.
Actually, I think he already asked us. He did that in the past. Are you willing to, give up being cabin crew for me? He said it right off the bat. And she seemed like she understood, and she was like, "Yes, I'm willing to do it." Okay.
So let me ask. Ashley said she wants someone to take care of her and pour into her because she's been taking care of everybody else. How does she expect this military man who is away a lot of times as much as cabin crew, how does she expect him to pour into her?
I don't know if this is why I said this earlier. At the point that he is in his military career, I don't think he's away like that. Especially in military training. In my mind, I equated that he's either doing he's like a drill sergeant, basic training, or he's doing something very specific in the military where he's in a training center training soldiers every day on this one job. He probably off at first formation, 6 o'clock in the morning, first formation. He's back home by 5 in the afternoon. He's probably very rigid schedule now. He's living a life in his mind. He's living a life. He looks like he done put in about 15, 20 years. He's on the tail end, one duty station. He's not really going anywhere.
It seems like that, and that I can understand that, because if he's coming home every day, he does not want his woman to be not coming home every day.
Yeah. No. So he's looking for that. I was going to say this earlier. I'm not a rigid-minded person, but I still do things rigidly in my life. I get up. I usually never sleep past 7 o'clock. It's hard for me to sleep in the morning.
Preach. Do you understand me? I am up by. I'm up before the rooster. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm up before the rooster.
And if
my
I have
members live, that is at 8:30, is way past my bedtime. Way past. So I hope my members appreciate it. After 8:30, I will still be on. Life is reality. Let me ask you, what then is like? Is there going to be a culture shock for her going from London to Northern Ireland?
If she hasn't visited before, it's different. I think there's a lot of farms and leafy green areas out there. There are some built up cities, but it's just not as hustling and bustling as London is.
Hold on, man. Why'd you just say it like that? Leafy green areas? You don't like trees?
Yeah, listen. When I think of Ireland, man, I just think of leafy green and not good weather. The weather is horrible.
Man, you talk about you talk like you don't like no nature. Give me concrete, okay?
Yeah,
jungle.
Yeah, I don't like. There's too much foliage out there.
Oh wow! Wait, you know what?
Too much flora and fauna.
Yeah, them 4-leaf clovers and.
I'm a little bit of opposite. I'm a country boy, so I like outside, outdoors. I'm used to that as what I grew up in. So, but every summer, I was up in New York, Brownsville. Yeah, I was. So yeah, I had a little balance. I had a good balance of life. But JR's a proper.
You're a city boy.
City boy, bro.
City boy. Yeah.
Hey, I respect it. Hey, I respect it.
It's just the tone. It's just the tone of you saying it like, I'm not going to take off my shoes and put my feet in that grass. Okay, that's what it's giving.
Absolutely not.
Oh, see, wow. So you'll think terribly of me if I see a great lawn. I'm taking off my shoes. I'm getting grounded.
They got horses and ponies out there, man. You don't know what you be stepping in. But
you can look down and see my dad going. The horses and ponies getting it too.
Like if you step in some horse stuff, I don't see how you miss that. It's a big pile. I don't see how you miss it. Ain't no way
so the fresh air and the clean air, we ain't want it.
No, I mean, I just don't think there's much of it. I mean, I can't say it's on my bucket list to go visit there, but I've heard, some good things, like places like Dublin and Cork. Yeah, like these cities are okay, but yeah,
they have a park. You go to the park.
So you won't go to an alpaca farm,
A what?
An alpaca farm.
Wilpacker?
Alpaca. I'm just
What's that?
abroad. There are people in Ireland trying to be matched with someone from Ireland. The Americans in Ireland. So when actually Aubrey reminded me, because we review it on Tuesdays, she reminded me what we saw, the rolling green hills of Ireland. I said, oh, okay, an alpaca farm. Alpacas are, they look like
Llamas.
Huh?
You like llamas.
Yes, they look like llamas.
Yeah, they cousins. And llama cousins.
Okay,
JR. Now we know. Don't invite you to Central Park. Invite you to the Bronx.
Yeah. Go straight to the Bronx, bro. You straight to the Bronx. Don't go to Central Park. They ain't you.
You want Times Square. He don't want Central Park.
Gotcha. Yeah. Go see the screen.
that may be a little too built up. I mean, so I think there may be some different, but it's nothing they can't overcome. A lot of people here like to go out to the countryside and, in the trees and wildlife and all that stuff, but it's just not for me. But there are a lot of people that will go to the Cotswolds and, all them type of places. So Ireland just has lots of scenic places, I would have thought. And that may be a nice, quaint lifestyle for them if she was to make the move. Whereas in London, especially if she is down in South London, like Surrey kind of area, the hustle and bustle of London, it just doesn't stop. Whereas I think in Ireland, you can have more of a restful experience and really get to know each other a lot more. Whereas London, there's so much going on every day.
And right, was she living close to the military base? Here you live on base or not. It is definitely going to be interesting how their life would unfold. But definitely, thank you, chat. That how did his previous marriage dissolve? How did that fall apart?
And how long ago was it? Do we know how long ago it was?
He didn't mention it. I'll have to go to my notes to find it. I'm sorry, Trey. You were saying?
Do they have to live on military base over in Ireland?
No.
Okay.
It depends what you do. Right. It depends what you do. But I would have thought for someone of his experience, I'm not sure. Yeah.
I wouldn't. I have a home and drive into base.
I'm just looking for it. He's one of them that said it feels like butterflies.
Let this man have good feelings, L. Let him have good feelings. Let him have good feelings.
Do you think he was too eager to get into a relationship, get into something with her real quick?
I put him on the same level as the mother. Very intent. He's very intentional.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that the woman he got paired with seemed to be very intentional as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you think about it, if Katisha would have made a different choice, it would have been just as fast.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really put too much stock into it. It just seemed like he found somebody. They seem to be on the same page with a lot of things. The only issue that they did have was her being cabin crew. And they kind of got past it because he was ready to end it. Like, hey, you know what? You got cab crew. I'm ready to give it up, but I want to talk to you about it. So whatever. But they got past it and they've been all right ever since. So
yeah, she said she was single for the past 4 years. He said he's divorced because both Army and her travel schedule was too much. So I wonder if it's the ex-wife really was cabin crew, but he said he dated quite a few of them, but he said it kind of fizzled out. Is Billy one of those that wouldn't end a relationship? Is he just going to sit in it and just let it fizzle?
I can see that.
But a commanding officer got to take charge. So is he in charge on the base and not in charge in life?
That happens a lot more than you think.
I know. That's why I put it out there.
Because a lot of men well, I'm gonna say a lot of men. There are some men out there, especially when you notice men with real power over other people, they have a thing about not wanting to exert that power at home. You know, because a lot of men equate home to be peace. If I have to exert myself, you know, to command people at home, that's not peace. You know, I never saw it that way. Like, you know, I had this thought that I was trying to crystallize in my mind about Billy. I was going to say, a part of me thinks he needs to learn the difference between being commanding and leading. Sometimes they're not the same thing. You know, sometimes they are not the same thing. You know, when you're a leader, in most cases, people are choosing to follow you. It's a choice. You know, being in the military or experiencing military life, that can lead to a commanding mindset. You are put in command of a lot of people. You know, you're not a leader. You are in command, so it has a different connotation. But a lot of people have an issue with bringing that command mindset to the house, and that causes problems.
And that's exactly why I said fizzle out, and Dahlia caught the ball that I was lobbing out there. Billy acts like if life just happens to him.
I can see that.
Yeah.
But at least it's not his spleen. But no. But anything else for talking about this couple? This is our last couple for the evening.
I think you know, as Trey was saying, the military mindset is also about giving orders and taking instruction, taking orders as well. So I hope he's not too hard on that. You know, I told you to do something and you didn't do it, so there has to be punishment. You know, that type of mentality. That's not going to work. So hopefully he stays in the same character as he's presented, and there isn't like this dark, regimental side to him, because that would be disappointing.
You know,
very disappointing. Right. Do y'all want to give your final thoughts on either these past 4 episodes or what you're looking forward to for this season?
I want to see how Javion continues to play his games with Katisha. I'm ready for that popcorn situation. See that. I am genuinely concerned. I want to see what happens between Sarova and Kyle. You know, because I'm genuinely concerned about that. Like, guys, see that could work, but they got some real things that could possibly hinder them. Like real things. Like, okay, let's see how that goes. I think Billy and what's her name?
Ashley.
Billy and Ashley. I think Billy and Ashley, like I said, I see how it could be problems, but like I said, I think they're the only couple that we will probably be worried about the least. At least by so far what we see, because as stringent and strict as Billy is coming off, Ashley seems to be with it. So as long as that holds out, there ain't nothing to talk about. Jed and Barter, real cute, but like I said, I think some things gonna pop up. Yep, some things gonna pop up. Really, Dahlia. Kyle might be F4. What is your facts? Give me the evidence.
Them row of teeth, okay, and that body yada yada, okay.
Oh, that doesn't mean it. Hold on. You know what? Don't let Sarova's insecurities play on your thoughts of Kyle and have him to be a perception of an F4 in your mind.
And don't let the 2 words might be go unread by you. It's might be, okay? Not is. It's might be, okay?
It might be.
Everything's
be,
a could
but
be. Might be. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Okay. Shoulda,
listen,
woulda, coulda.
Cal might be another Freddy for all we know.
Oh,
Right.
Ooh, wow.
So we don't know yet. But I'm particularly looking forward to seeing how Katisha reacts when she sees Demola when they meet and discuss what happened. I'm also interested to see the families and how the families take the news that of the marriages. Not so much Billy and Ashley. I think that one has the least problems to potentially arise in terms of how the families would receive the partner. But I do think Cal and Sarova will have some stern words coming from their relatives regarding their union. Bada and Jed, I'm not sure. I think they might have a good family interaction as well. Javon and Katisha, if they get to meet each other's families, that's going to be interesting too. Is Javon going to lay it on thick and keep up some false pretense, or is he going to be quite blasé and not so into her by that point that the family pick up on it? So yeah, there's a couple of things that I see happening on the horizon that could be potentially interesting.
yeah, that's all interesting things that could come up, this season. We are looking forward to it, y'all. Just so you know, thank y'all for being here. Those who have sat through, 2 hours plus. But also letting you know announcements for Love is Blind. Love is Blind Brazil season 5, which is catering to 50 and over. That is coming out on September 10th. Also on September 10th is Love is Blind Francais, which is hosted by a French judo master Olympian and his I guess longtime partner or wife. They both are coming out on the same day. Okay, so y'all please be patient with me in September. I will be covering Brazil, will be my priority because this channel started with Love is Blind Brazil, and Brazil continues to fully support, but we will be covering Francais. Okay, definitely I am looking forward to the seniors because the seniors have no lid over their mouth. And if you watch the trailer, which I posted in my community wall, you will see. Grandma said, if you don't keep up with me, ain't no way we can be together. Right quick and in a hurry. So I'm so looking forward to the seniors. Somebody as young as 50, as aged as 70. So it's a gamut. And I love my Brazilian people. They're spicy in a good way to me. Okay. So we also are covering tomorrow is going to be Match Me Abroad. Again, I love my international dating shows. Wednesday I'm covering King's Court. Friday is going to be our unscripted, where hey, you guys decide what we talk about in the chat. And Saturday is Project Runway, as we do weekly. So y'all please, support the channel. We are having a members live grown folk talk at 8:30 tonight. So if you are not a member, please consider membership. There are 2 tiers. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Trey. Thank you, Life is Reality. I always love when y'all, come up here and certainly give us your thoughts and your support as always. So, tell the people where to find y'all. Are y'all on social media? What y'all doing?
Well, I kind of lurk on social media. I don't be out there like that, but if you want to, you can find me on Instagram. It's TreyMatt26. I think it's TreyMatt26. It's TreyMatt26 or whatever it is on Instagram. Pretty much only one up there. You might catch a plate of food or something every now and then. I'll make you hungry.
Yeah, you could catch me on JRX TV on Instagram, JRX TV on IG. Health, fitness, well-being, things like that. YouTube, Life is Reality. And that's discussions like this on panels, relationship shows, reality TV shows, things like that. So, oh, and I'm building up my TikTok too. I just started on that. So hopefully you can catch me on TikTok. That's also JRX TV as well.
Awesome. Yeah, y'all, he puts in his travels all out there. Oh, he had some wonderful footage from his travels. But y'all, thank you for being here. Members, I'm going to see you at 8:30. Okay? I'm going to see you at 8:30. We have a bachelor and bachelorette to talk about. But thank you, everybody, for being here. And we'll see you next time, next Monday, probably the same time. Just have your notifications on so you know. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time.